Hey guys, it's the TapIn Football podcast. We're back for 2020. We're not in association with Betfair this week, so anyone who feels like they want to sponsor us, calm down.
The checks ain't come through this week.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah. We're starting afresh in 2020 though, watch out.
Open for more checks, of course.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Emphasis on what? Open. We need more checks.
That's a fact. Feel free to reach out to us as a whole podcast or me personally. I need that cash. It's your host, Stevie. I'm here with...
You got Black Dan?
You got tapping Tobes.
Come on. All right, I think we're here for one main reason today. That's generally because it was Arsenal Man U yesterday.
We ain't got a guest this week as well, man.
Yeah, we
People letting us
haven't,
down.
to be honest. But you know what? I think we need to sort of go through the comments and read what people are saying and sort of come at them. If there's anything that we're disagreeing with, like, please, people, comment in the YouTube, on the podcast, on all platforms, and we'll let you know what we think.
Or if they think they know it, or if they think they know more than us, step into the hot seat.
Yeah, they're welcome.
Step into the arena
Dragon's there.
and see
Everyone's
how you
welcome.
like it.
Because we tore Jermaine a new one last week. and Akeem hasn't been cited all year, so Lord knows where he
We're
is.
doing them all year jokes now. Them dad
Yeah.
jokes there.
Terrible. Absolutely
Do you
terrible.
see
crack.
Madison came out with that one as well?
Yeah, his
sent him
mum
a
his
message.
mum made the joke. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get into the game yesterday. Dan, you must have been a happy boy. I've got so much to say on Man United, but I'm gonna let you start first because obviously you lot won.
Yeah, to be honest, I think there's probably a little bit more to say about United because you basically didn't show anything yesterday. But
At all.
I think to talk about the boys and Arteta, boy, I was...
PE teacher though.
We called it, they
Laying
called
out
it a
the
PE
cones.
teacher, laying out the
You
cones.
called him a PE teacher. You called it.
Nah, those words never left my mouth, but...
You said you can't give work experience. That's what you said.
You can't give a job to a guy doing work experience, but clearly he was the one running things at Man City. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people saying he was putting out the cones for Pep, but it looks like Pep was putting out the cones for him.
Have you seen that video that's come out of Man City football
They're
players doing that?
training, doing all this like
since
doing all this-
Arteta's left.
doing all this
You
dancing
need to
and
go
that.
and check it
but-
out, man. It's madness.
Yeah, man. It's where basically we're non-negotiable FC right now, man. That's what everyone
Okay.
keeps coming out with. Arteta talking about his non-negotiables. He wants everyone working hard, everyone putting in a shift, and you could see that evident on the pitch yesterday, man. Like I think every single outfield player that started had at least one tackle to their name. You know, everyone was like busting their gut to get the ball back. That whole win the ball back in 5 seconds thing. It was really, really impressive to see. The stadium was buzzing. Everyone got behind the players, man. It was a really, really good game as an Arsenal fan.
It
yesterday.
seemed like it. I was watching some of your big notable fans who normally do their fan channels and whatnot. I saw Turkish's Instagram. I saw a few others, and the atmosphere actually seemed quite good there. So it was a good performance. And again, it's a performance where we've seen Man United come to the Emirates and their ass just disappears. It completely disappears. It was like this last year when when everyone expected Man United to come in and win. Man United were on this run. Solskjaer got the permanent job, and yeah, just impotency up top and just not good enough at the back.
They played a lot better last year, I thought.
No, they did.
100%.
They did attacking wise, but I'm saying defensively, it was still the same problems that reared its ugly head.
Yeah. I mean, like, to focus on Arsenal before we go on to United, I think just the way that, because I know people are saying, they're seeing a lot of effort and stuff like that from the people, but if you listen to what Emery was saying when he was there, he was talking about the same things. Like, he was talking about running around, putting in effort, you know, trying to compete with the other teams. And you could see that, maybe some of the players they were trying to run and about, but the structure itself wasn't actually right. So that the spaces between all the players and stuff were too big. You know, you're having Torreira play as a number 10, box to box, whatever type centre mid. You're trying to have him do. Xhaka covering loads of ground, defenders left exposed, and you're not seeing any of that in the past 3 games under Arteta. So the actual structure of the team is a lot better. And then once you have that combined with the effort, then you can see the sort of performances that you got yesterday.
I'm hearing Maitland-Niles is a world-class defender now.
He definitely isn't.
Nah.
100% isn't. But he played well yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Played well against
He's
Chelsea.
played well in a couple of games, but that, like, the Arsenal fans are saying now this guy's going to develop into, like...
Who's saying that though?
No, people on Twitter are
Who's
really...
saying that?
They're actually saying it.
Like,
Today I
they're
went through
fools,
my feed,
man.
and there was...
Absolutely
The
fools.
thing is, people do need to relax as well, because this squad, like, you talk about new manager bounce and all sorts, whatever, but the squad still isn't good enough to be where we want to be. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've been guilty of over celebrating previously when we beat Spurs 4-2. You know, people are saying we're going to win the league. All it is 22 games unbeaten. So let's just take a step back and take stock of where we've come from. That's our second win in 16 games, right? So before we start, crowning people for top 4 and stuff like that, let's actually put a run together and see where we can go. But this January is crucial for us. We need players.
Yeah. And that's a good summary on Arsenal. I'm surprised he's actually being quite modest because this guy, he's shameless. He'll go off on one. He'll be like, "Well, the best thing since sliced bread after one win." I'm surprised you're actually being balanced, but it's time to talk about Man United. I know you've been avoiding this.
Honestly,
it's time to talk about Man United.
Yesterday, I was so livid. After like 5 minutes. Oh, as well, shout out Pepe because I've been getting onto him. You actually
stuck a knife in him.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I heard that he turned Luke Shaw into Luke Unshaw. That's what someone commented. That's what CheekySport commented on their photos. He was terrible.
That's hilarious.
He was terrible. And this guy, he's just blowing chunks every time I see him. He's just not good. And I've been telling you like this for a year now. I've been saying that this guy is a painfully average fullback.
I was in denial. And he's allergic. I'm not gonna lie. I was in denial.
He's allergic to crossing that halfway line as well. He's allergic.
Yeah, it's because he's too fat. They're calling him the Burger King Baines now.
What was it that you were saying, Dan, as well? He thought obviously Torreira, he was drinking mate.
So Torreira, he was getting tired in it. He was supposed to get subbed off, and then Lacazette was pulling up with cramps, so they subbed him off instead. Gave Torreira some energy bar, some energy drink to have. Torreira,
which energy drink?
What's it called? Mate.
Mate.
So
we don't name this. Nah.
Mate is that like South American sort of like strong like herbal tea that like Suarez drinks. Even Griezmann, the beg, he's French. He even drinks it as well.
Okay.
Argentinians drink it as well. Like they all drink it basically.
Okay.
So
you're really doing the number on them, aren't you?
No, I've done my research. Like they actually all drink it. So yeah.
Yes. Obviously, he's a gym head, innit? So he needs to see what works.
Yeah. No. One of my colleagues. No, it's not even. One of my colleagues is Argentinian, and she even said it as well. She bangs it out at work. So I said, you know what? I want to drink it. Yeah. I'm gonna try it, and I want her to bring the actual cup. Have you seen the cup? It's like this silver and brown cup, and it's got this like silver straw. It's actually kind of sick. Yeah. I like it.
TapIn Football podcast sponsored by Mate.
Yeah.
Get yourself some culture, man.
Torreira's had some, and then chucked it on the sideline now, and then Luke Shaw seen him and grabbed the rest to finish it because he needed energy as well. I'm not lying.
Honestly,
it's ridiculous.
If he needs energy, shave up some pounds and hit the gym.
It's actually ridiculous.
But it must be his natural body weight or something.
No, I'm not having this whole he's big boned or whatever it is that people say. He's fat. He's fat and he's a professional footballer. It doesn't make sense. You train like 4 or 5 times a week. You shouldn't be that big.
I genuinely don't know why Brandon Williams wasn't playing yesterday. He
would have got that treatment from Pepe too, to be honest.
No,
I think defensively, but he would offer you a lot more going forward.
Yeah, and we need to give the opposition something to think about. And he's like one of our better outlets, or he was in the last game as well. Played, Shaw is, I was reading today, obviously Shaw's on 200,000 at United a week. The guy's the highest paid fullback in the world. Wages.
And he got your player of the season last year as well. And you remember when I was saying, I was slamming you saying, that is an outrage. And you were like, oh no, he deserves it, blah, blah, blah. But it needs to be someone other than Pogba. And I was like, what?
It's a sorry state of affairs when he's not even the biggest cause of concern in that defence.
Yeah, he's not.
Maguire and Lindelof. I've been screaming it for so long. So pathetic. Lindelof, I don't know what he's good at. The thing that pisses me off about Lindelof...
against Burnley, though.
I don't care. About Lindelof and Maguire that pisses me off the most, is the things that they're renowned for. They're not even doing well. Lindelof's supposed to be this, like, supreme footballer on the ball. I don't see him doing it. Maguire yesterday, I watched his personal own highlights. What a joke, man. Honestly, Ozil, Ozil's not the paciest footballer. Ozil was putting on slightest pressure on Maguire. Maguire's just hoofing it left, right, and centre. Like you've been paid. We paid 80 million for you to come and give us that stability at the back, that ball playing ability, and you're being Smalling in disguise, like without even the defensive composure to go with it.
I'm gonna try and pull up some stats as well.
And then going forward as well. like any time we get any opportunity to target him in a corner or a free kick, guy just fails to hit the back of the net. And I know you're not a striker, but still, he's got to be doing more. Yeah, you need him to land, and he's just getting spun too easy.
I mean, I think you're being a bit harsh on Maguire's passing because I've checked the stats now. He completed 74 out of 84 passes. 75 out of 84 passes. That's almost a 90% passing accuracy. So it's not that bad, but I do recognise what you're talking about because there were moments in the game where when he was put under pressure, it was those moments when he was put under pressure, the passing was all higgy hagger.
Yeah.
And my one thing with Maguire is just his agility and his mobility. It's been my only gripe with him. I've seen it with Aguero. I've seen it with Salah. I've seen it with Jesus. I've seen it with so many players who have this low centre of gravity and will just turn him. And he turns like a double-decker bus as well. So it's like Lacazette.
Lacazette like a battleship, man.
Bruv, Lacazette twisted him like a flipping, like a tumble dryer yesterday. And I'm like, bruv, you are 6 foot something tall. You're letting this little fat BBW like twist you all over the shop, man. Level up. And this is the problem. The thing is, we're expecting Maguire to do things that an £80 million centre-back should be capable of doing. Yeah. But he's not an £80 million centre-back.
And the thing is...
he's not a bad player too, but he's just not an £80 million player.
I just feel that with Maguire, like he's supposed to be... So the thing is, you've made him captain in Young's absence, but I'm not really seeing that leadership quality from him in terms of organisation. I don't think he's actually that vocal when you see him on the pitch.
He's not.
So that, and it's almost like... people have thought he was a type of player that he's not necessarily, kind of thing. So I think he was brought in to be, sort of this big commanding, guy that's going to come and change your whole defensive outlook. And personally, I've not thought even before you signed him that he was the right signing.
Agreed.
To do that, especially when you're talking about the kind of sums that you're paying for him, £80 million. Like, that's madness to me.
Like the problem is he's a good centre back. Like he's not a bad centre back. Overall, you have to say he's a good centre back. Like he's just about a good centre back, but he's not an elite centre back. And Man United needed more than just a good centre back. And I've said it on this platform before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Man United fans were so harsh on Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling was just about a good centre back at Man United. Good defensively as well. It was just he was disastrous on the ball. Like absolutely disaster on the ball.
On the ball.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a disaster on the ball. But what I'm saying is, you've gone from having a decent, you've sold a decent to good defender, and you've bought another like just about good defender for 80 million.
It's nuts.
It's crazy. One final thing on United, if we're not moving on yet, but
I need to speak on Ole.
Oh, because that's where I was going to go as well. Like Solskjaer, what do you make of his post-match comments?
He's having a bubble.
Let me read it out.
This guy's taking the mick now.
We've only lost once each month. If you go a month between every time you lose, it's not bad for a team that's learning and developing. So hopefully we can go 2 months without defeat soon. And you didn't go 2 weeks without a loss either.
Bro, those comments there, that's Owen Coyle in disguise. Owen Coyle at Burnley in disguise, where you just about scraped maybe 1 or 2 wins in a month. Oh, we didn't lose 2 or 3 matches this month, so yeah, a couple more points and we'll be safe for the relegation zone.
Is Solskjaer at Cardiff in disguise? Except it's not, because he had a higher win
ratio
percentage at Cardiff.
And they got relegated.
He sent them down. This guy's ridiculous.
No. I'm not gonna
yesterday. I saw a screenshot yesterday of Ole in some sort of press conference, and I thought, this must have been from the last game. It's bloody Arsenal, and he's grinning teeth, as if we've just come away with a win. How can you keep leaving press conferences, losing, and you're smiling and cracking jokes with the journalists who are pining for your head? And he said if Matic and Fred play like they did today, he'll be happy with it. He'll be happy with them. And I just thought, what were you watching? And then today on Twitter has come out. This clip is hilarious. It's him playing Football Manager at Mulder.
I saw that.
Honestly.
Oh my God. And he's like, this is too complicated for me.
You know what it is? You know what it is with Ole? Again, I'm still Ole in because I still think that squad isn't good enough. And we saw that in evidence in the game at the Emirates. Pogba injured. We don't know what's happening with him. I think he's gone.
He's definitely injured though.
McTominay, yeah, I think he's going to get surgery now. To Pogba. McTominay out for 8 weeks as well. The minute we found out that news, what did we say in the chat? We said that the pendulum is already just swung in Arsenal's favour because there's no one to control that midfield. Fred, who's actually been good in recent weeks, I think he reverted back to type at the Emirates.
No.
Okay, let me finish. I don't think he was at his influential best, but in the second half, he was trying to make a lot of stuff happen. And I think, in his fairness, he was having to do the job of three midfielders by himself. Because Jesse Lingard was an absolute passenger in that number 10. And Nemanja Matic was not offering any protection whatsoever. So Fred is actually trying to protect the ball, retain possession, and then pass it forward as well. So like it was asking a man to do the job of 3 people. And I felt that's where you lost those positions and out wide. I felt that's where you lot struggled.
But I hear you with the Ole in thing. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But my criticism of Ole is that I can't see any patterns of play in what we're doing. And then obviously Van Persie was on BT Sports saying it yesterday. And this is a criticism for the midfielders and the manager as well. He said he saw Martial, Rashford make at least 15 runs each, where they're just darting off the last Arsenal man, and the ball just doesn't get played, or we play the safe pass. And that's down to coaching, as in you have to tell your players, attempt to make that pass, but then also you look at the personnel. We don't have the personnel of players who can make that pass.
I do think though. I thought when I was watching that punditry from there, I thought they were being quite harsh because I think it would take a real quality player to pick out those runs, especially given the pressure that your midfield were under from the Arsenal midfielders as well, because like when Fred, I think he was trying to get his head up, but then he has to play that pass almost instantaneously if you want to get it through. And I think we did well to sort of stop those balls being played in behind.
I mean, Fred is a CM, and he played the most attacking third passes yesterday. He played 16 out of 21 passes. That was the highest of both teams put together yesterday.
He also covered the most ground yesterday as well.
Yeah, but take-ons, Nemanja Matic, 6 out of 6. I couldn't believe it.
Probably taking on Lindelof and...
But even shout out to Maitland-Niles as well. Like, I think he topped the charts in interceptions yesterday, 4 interceptions. Like we said, he's coming back into good form as well. I just think with Man United, this is just it's
par for the course.
Yeah, like it's no longer an elite side. It's a side who are capable of losing 1 or 2 matches here and there. It's not a side who can string together consistency. So I don't expect anything less.
It's basically, if you have any sort of defensive solidity, United aren't really going to cause you that many issues, man.
Yeah.
Rashford as well. He's someone who normally steps up in the big games. I know obviously he weren't really getting as much service as he should, but I felt like when he did have the ball in some decent areas, moments, he didn't do enough with it. I thought yesterday was just a disappointing game for him. I thought it was a disappointing game for Daniel James. I thought the only one who actually came to bring it in the attack was Martial, the one who gets criticised for a lack of intensity.
Well said. All right, cool. Let's move on. Brighton and Chelsea. Chelsea failing to pick up 3 points again. And that guy who we laughed at last week on the podcast.
Who? Jahan Bash.
Scored again.
Yeah, great goal as well.
Yeah, fantastic goal. Yeah. Chelsea, though, like, their momentum has come to an absolute halt.
And they're 6 points clear of us. They're 6 points clear of us.
Oh, what, Spurs?
Yeah.
That's madness.
Five ahead of United in 5th as well.
I think they played something like, since Man City, they've played about, 8 or 9 games? They've lost 5. They've lost 5 out of 9 games. They drew 1. And I think they've won 3. They beat Aston Villa, they beat us, and they beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's a terrible record. That's absolutely disgraceful form in December. And they're 6 points clear.
It's mad.
They're 6 points clear of us, and how many points are they clear of you? 5.
Yeah.
Which just shows you the weird ineptitude of these of the teams that are battling for top 4. It's embarrassing.
And the thing is as well, so this was basically the busiest part of the season so far for all of these teams, right? So I think they should be worried for when Champions League and Europa League come back 100%. Because this is when the games come thick and fast, and if these teams, like, as soon as they're playing 2 games in a week regularly, 3 games in a week, with FA Cup, if they're still in that as well, then, you're going to expect some of these results to start not going their way. So that's why I think this top 4 race is actually wide open now after this Christmas period.
Yeah, I've noticed it with Chelsea as well in some games. Like whenever they're on top, they don't capitalize on their domination at times, and sometimes it causes the game to sort of get away from them as well. I remember they built up a head of steam against Everton towards the end of the first half. Didn't capitalize on any of the chances or any of the good play they had in and around the area. I guess Everton defended well as well, but they didn't do that. And against Brighton as well, I was watching that game in the first half, and Chelsea were relatively untroubled by Brighton. I thought like they were controlling the game well, and when they scored, I thought the goal was coming. But second half, Brighton just stuck it all over them. And again, credit to Brighton too. We've spoken about Brighton's format at home. We've spoken about the way they play as well. Like I really thought that that they gave a good account of themselves in the league this season against Chelsea.
Yeah. What do you lot think of Mason Mount and his season so far?
I think he's had a decent to good season, man. Like for someone who's not, this is your first season in the Premier League. I think he's been okay. I think Preston has been okay. I think he scored some decent to good goals, but I know he hasn't scored since the Aston Villa game. I just think Mason Mount, he's not this elite player. Like he's a player who I expect to have his ups and downs in terms of form, and it's the same with Pulisic. It's the same with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think that team just needs more quality, and I'll be shocked if they don't dip into the window.
Some consistent top draw quality.
Like Hazard.
on the Mason Mount point as well, would you take him or Grealish if it came down to having
Grealish,
to pick between one of them?
Grealish 100%. Grealish is a more complete player in my opinion.
100%.
He's a more complete player.
I think Grealish, this season as well, he's shown he can get goals as well, which I think that's what Mason Mount is about.
that was like Mason Mount's USP basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Jorginho as well didn't play well yesterday. Kante again, Higgy Haga, like some of their clutch players just aren't performing at their required level in some of these matches, and I don't think it's being spoken about enough. Jorginho came on, changed the game against Arsenal, but he was poor against Brighton the other day. Kante, wishy-washy form in recent weeks as well. Like it's just not good enough, and they're not gonna as big a lead as they have. They can't expect to keep dropping these points and then expecting that these sides should.
Everyone else will as well.
Yeah.
Facts. All right, cool. Let's go into the rest of the action. Man City beat Everton 2-1. Fairly straightforward.
Yeah, I'd say so. Gabriel Jesus, he should have had a hat-trick, but he had a fantastic game. I think he's got a thing for playing against Everton, because last year as well...
I think he scored... I can't remember the stat, but he's every game he plays against Everton, like he always plays ahead of Aguero and he always bags.
Yeah. He scored against them this season, home and away now. He scored against them last season, I think, home and away as well. Yeah. I think last season in the home match at the Etihad, he absolutely tore their backline to pieces. Tore it to pieces. His movement, they couldn't live with him, and it was the case again today. I thought Everton were quite fortunate to get their goal. I think Man City on another day would have won that 2 or 3-0 comfy if Jesus had his finishing
final shooting boots on. Yeah, I think shout out Foden and Eric Garcia as well, that for sitting centre back for City, because I thought Calvert-Lewin didn't really get any joy out of him as well, and he would be someone that you would expect Calvert-Lewin to be able to bully and harass, but Eric Garcia 100%. He made I think he stamped his name on the starting position for City going forward. Yeah,
because Pep played like Rodri. He played Rodri, Fernandinho, and Garcia at the back. It just goes to show how much he doesn't rate Otamendi. I think he's someone who will probably be. Pep is saying that they're not going to buy anyone in January, but in terms of sales, I think he's someone who might look to leave in January. So I think if they sell him, maybe that might change their position to buy in the market.
Yeah, fair enough. So, all right, cool. Newcastle, Leicester.
Demolished.
Mate, Joe Linton, at this point, when are we gonna stamp put the nail in the coffin?
Do you know what's them like time clocks? You see like the ones you rotate, and I think that's imagine the sand is Joe Linton's stock that happened, and it's just dwindling because it's his all-round game that I've read. And I've seen in glimpses.
You have to read it. You ain't seen it on the pitch, mate.
And when I'm watching it, I'm like, bruv, like, come on, like, your first touch, bringing people into play, like, working the channels. This is stuff that I feel like you're meant to be good at. And it's just like, and then in front of goals, I already knew he weren't clinical, but my goodness, when he went clean for on goal yesterday, I was like, come on, you've got to do better.
But you've got no faith in him to score as well.
Yeah.
He's at 40 million, I think he's Yeah.
He's undoubtedly a flop right now.
Flop of the season.
I think flop of the season, to be honest. For that price.
Who else have been signed this year?
Definitely not, man. He's just back against United. He's
Pepe,
done way more. He's done way more than Joe Linton.
For 70 million.
No, Pepe's been poor, but he's been better than Joe Linton. But again, Joe Linton, I question how he would be in a different system.
But how many goals has Joe Linton scored?
One.
How many goals has Pepe scored?
In the league or in general?
In the league, he's got 3. And 3 assists.
1 penalty though.
Yeah, okay, so it's 2.
Nah, it's 2.
It's basically 2.
It's 2.
2 from open play.
Wow.
And if you
let's stop this. Pepe has been better than Joe Linton. I know what you're trying to do.
You're trying to do this, yeah, but
okay, he has been.
Newcastle 5 weeks ago we were praising them, and we said the relegation battle, and I said, and in fact we all said it's all to play for because Newcastle are capable of going on a
run where they
losing run,
and they've lost all of their games over Christmas.
Yeah. So what is it like? Last 4, you said Newcastle have lost 4 of their last 5 games.
Yeah.
And injuries are piling up as well.
Yeah.
They got Kieran Clark still injured. They got Lascelles still injured. Maximum injured now. Injured. John Joe Shelby came off of an injury yesterday. Fabian Schär came off of an injury yesterday. They're losing some of their key players. And Florent Lejeune as well, who is normally someone who looks okay in their system, shagged for both their goals yesterday as well. So like, it's just now they're having to rely on him instead of some of their more experienced
centre backs.
It's just, I think it's the perfect storm for Steve Bruce now.
Steve Bruce sacking?
No, not a sacking.
For them to just get dragged back into that relegation fight for sure.
Yeah. And I heard that like his training methods as well. I read a thread about like how like he's been known for having these like rigorous training methods that culminate in injuries for his teams. I think he had like a lot of issues with injuries at Sheffield Wednesday, Hull City, and even who was the other team that he managed?
Sunderland.
I can't remember, but so I think that might be something that they probably want to sort of like take a look at anyway. But Leicester, they keep ticking, man.
And I think top 4 is nailed on for them now.
I think so too.
It's like
100%.
I think so too.
14 points clear of United in 5th.
Crazy.
I don't see how anyone is making up 5 wins on top of them.
Yeah, plus expecting to have a better run in than they do as well. So
and they don't have Europe too.
Yeah, facts.
So
and they actually have good players.
It was a good result for them. Great goal from Maddison too.
Yeah,
of course, Ayoze. Of course, he had to bag against his former club. And Chowdhury as well. Cracking goal too.
Yeah, that's his first as well. All right, Southampton. No surprise. As soon as I checked who had scored, I knew it would be Ings. I knew it had to be Ings.
It was another gift.
It was another gift. You basically wrote it in the stars for Ings to bag with a gift against Spurs.
It was another gift.
Top tip. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was because anyone who watches,
it wasn't a gift.
Okay, cool. It wasn't a gift, but it may as well have been a gift because this Alderweireld guy, I've been saying it for the past year. His decline is getting worse and worse and worse, and his 1v1 ability has gone from 100 to 0.
Why does he keep turning his back on the guy running at him? This is what I'm saying. I put it in the group that he looks like he's dancing whenever he's trying to defend.
You know what? Yeah, you know what it is with Alderweireld. Yeah, the times where he should engage, he doesn't engage, and the times where he should back off and not engage, he engages, and that's what I don't get with our defenders. I think him and Jan Vertonghen, they're feeling the physical effects of this decline,
I think so.
And I think
they're nervous.
They're slower to react now because there are times where they should put a foot in, they delay. The opposition gets the shot off and it's a goal.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
I think they both lost like a yard of pace 100. That they've had, and now they're sort of reluctant to get done by pacier players such as Ings. I think it was like a chance they had. Ings is faster, but a chance they had just before the Ings goal where with Redmond when it's like him. Whenever he's facing someone one-on-one that can actually take him for pace, he literally is dancing in front of them, like he's twisting this way, twisting that way, like he's at carnival or something like that.
It's not even just him as well. Like as I said, players have been underperforming all year. Ali, he was fantastic in the Renaissance under Mourinho. Past 2-3 games.
Man said a Renaissance.
No, it was a Renaissance.
Like 2 games.
No, it was a Renaissance though. Like he scored something like 6 goals, 3 assists, and like 8. But like in the past 2 or 3 matches, I don't know whether it's fatigue because I think the guy's been running to the ground. He plays basically every minute. Every minute doesn't get a rest. But of course, we know who's to blame for that. Every minute doesn't get a rest, and he's been off the ball in the past 3 matches. He's contributing nothing in open play, and he's not adding anything in the final third as well. He's had 1 or 2 opportunities in the box, and he's fluffing these lines. I think
it is fatigue though, more than anything.
But that's my point. Yeah. He's not getting any. He's being battered. He's being battered, and he's played every minute in this period. I don't think he's been subbed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall how many games he's been subbed off as well. I think Harry Kane now injured. Ndombele picks up another injury. This frustrating and disappointing campaign for him, I must say. He's showing glimpses, but like we need you to play. Like we actually need you in this team.
Like that's the thing. You don't pay 63 mil for this guy to be on the medical table the whole time. But what do you make of Mourinho's comments where he's
an idiot?
He's
and it's classic.
Mourinho or Ndombele?
Mourinho.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He came out and he said,
basically savaged him.
He basically said, he's never.
He can't rely on him.
He went on a rant. He's never fit. He gets in when we think he's fit. He plays one game, he gets injured. It's a concern. Blah blah blah. I'm like, why are you saying this stuff to the press?
The thing I don't get about that though is 2 weeks ago when Ndombele said
he's not ready
to play, Mourinho called him out for that. And then you play him when after that, and then he gets injured again, and then you're calling him out for that. So it's like the guys told you 2 weeks ago,
I'm not ready to play.
Like an injury is going to come. You at him for that.
He's played.
And then you at him again. Like, I don't get it at all.
And that's what I hate about this guy. He's a coward. He's a sneak disser. No, he's a coward. He's a
sneak.
No, he's a coward.
That's not even a sneak diss. That's direct.
Okay, you know what? He's a public sneak disser, basically. If that makes sense. Let me explain. The reason why I say that is because I don't know these conversations that he's having with these players, but he wants to open his stupid gob to the press all the time. He did it at Man United. He did it at Chelsea. He always wants to throw. It's someone it's weird because he was someone who was known as protecting his players. He was fiercely loyal to his players, and now he throws his players under the bus at any given opportunity.
But he protected his players when they were in that sort of John Terry mode where they'll play through anything. Whereas now, and that's why I wasn't buying. Man. I wasn't buying all the malarkey when he was like he's taking time off to learn. Man, like he's the same guy,
the same cynical fool, man.
Yeah, I don't think his man management styles are fit for the Premier League anymore. But
for modern football, I think.
Yeah, but I mean the performance of the Spurs team is more than just Mourinho.
Yeah, of course. It's more than just Mourinho. In my rant yesterday, Mourinho is only part of the problem. I never wanted him in the first place, but fundamentally, players have been underperforming all season. Eriksen, he came on, had a great cameo against Brighton, and then plays against Norwich and had a shocking first half. Better second half, and then yesterday back to typical Eriksen. Misplaced passes, missed passes. You had Ali poor. You had Lucas Moura inconsistent. We already know what it's about Moura. Good player, but he's someone who can't be relied upon to start every single game for us. Harry Kane, I thought he was poor yesterday. Some of his touches, some of his passing, some of his decision making, I thought it was pants. I think, funnily enough, the only players who actually played reasonably well for us was Serge Aurier and Serge Aurier and
that's saying something. But...
And that's saying it itself. Sessegnon as well. We already knew this. This guy is not ready to be the left back at Spurs, but he has to play now because Danny Rose has been so poor.
Is Danny Rose fit?
He's injured. He's injured now. So not only has Danny Rose been poor, he's injured now as well. So we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So Sessegnon has to play at left back now. I think the aggression and the intensity in his game, I said it at Fulham last year, I don't think it's there yet. And I don't think defensively he's as switched on as I'd like him to be. But he's a talent. So he's someone who we have to be patient with. But as a left back now, I don't think he's ready there. But it's just poor. One big chance created yesterday, we were poor. But again, I don't want to just make it all about Spurs. Southampton, unbeaten in 4 games now. Danny Ings, 4 goals in 4. I really think that this Hasenhüttl guy has actually coached his way out of the sack. He's coached his way out of the sack. And he deserves credit for that as well. And I think players like Jack Stevens, who we've criticised as well, he's come back into the team. He's been a colossus for them. Monster performance yesterday again. Monster performance against Chelsea 2 away from home. Ward-Prowse and Højbjerg as well. I think they've been fantastic in the middle of the park too. I just think the players, that's a team, that's a group of players who obviously buy into the manager, and that's a club who are now firmly backing the manager now. You've backed the manager with a vote of confidence. Now the next step is back him in the market. Back him in the market, because if they get better players, they're going to stay up. They're going to stay up.
Yeah. All right, cool. West Ham 4, Bournemouth 0. Moyes effect. I find that so staggering. Like you can just switch a man in.
And if you said who's the better manager out of Pellegrini and David Moyes,
yeah, you would have gone Pellegrini all day long. And I mean, it's still way too early to say. I'm not gonna say that. But, yeah, it's just strange. Like they pulled out an absolute performance. Haller was looking like he could actually play football.
Solid goal as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Felipe Anderson as well, doing what he does. Occasionally putting in a good performance, occasionally inconsistent. Yesterday was one of the.
You hear what Moyes said to him pre-match? Yeah, he was like, he goes, "Are you really Brazilian?" Yeah, because wow, he goes, "Is that what he said?" Yeah, he said, because he goes, Brazilians give me some tricks. Brazilians score with style. Go out there and show me that you're really Brazilian.
He was really listening to Mourinho when he asked Dele Alli, "Is this Ali or your brother?" Innit?
Yeah. I think Brighton as well. I just think they're Bournemouth. Sorry, I think they're in. Again,
they're in big trouble.
They're in trouble, and I felt yesterday as well. Again, I watched. Don't ask me why, but I watched a lot of that game. I felt West Ham got some good performances from some players who've been shoddy in recent weeks. I thought Ryan Fredericks was really good. I think David Moyes.
I think he was good as well, wasn't he?
Who? Mark Noble?
Noble, yeah.
Yeah, he was class.
Yeah, he was. I think that's his first goal since the opening game of the season or something.
Since United, I think the penalty.
I don't think they had a penalty against United.
I thought they did.
No. Yarmolenko.
Oh no, it's Yarmolenko
and Cresswell.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt like that was a tactical instruction from David Moyes. Attack that left hand side of Bournemouth because Sergio Rico defensively has been Higgy Hagger in recent weeks. And
I'm seeing Mark Noble. I'm seeing Mark Noble outpace Sergio Rico on the right. That's a joke.
That's a real cause for concern.
Yeah, like he was easy. He was honestly one of their worst players yesterday. I felt Ramsdale, who you give a lot of stick, I thought he was probably their best player yesterday. Like he stopped it from being probably 5-6-7-0, and we were praising Eddie Howe for somewhat altering his style earlier on, where they got like 2 or 3 clean sheets in the trot. They've just reverted back to type, so open. I think now more than ever when there's injuries, you gotta
compact. And the thing is, though, we were saying that they sacrificed all this attacking prowess that they've had in the past. They're not scoring as many goals because they're being more defensively solid at the back. But now they're giving you nothing. They're giving you nothing at either end of the pitch. Like Callum Wilson, I don't know did he score?
No, he hasn't scored. He hasn't scored in almost 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. He's not scored in ages. Josh King, he's not in the goals at the moment either.
Dominic Solanke
missing chances.
Did you see the sitter he missed yesterday as well? Oh my goodness! So my lord, I think we're this close. We're this close to stamping him as. I'm trying to think of a shoddy striker. Gregor Rajak. I'm gonna.
I'm answering Gregor.
The black Gregor Rajak, or the athletic version of Gregor Rajak, and even Rajak probably scored more Premier League goals.
He's one of the worst strikers I've seen in a long time.
But he's young and he can improve. But for now, he's terrible.
He needs to go to the champ,
yeah,
man.
Definitely. All right, cool. Some of the rest of the matches I just want to fly through. Burnley, another loss for them. Villa, decent performance. Grealish again in the goals.
Yeah,
he needs to be a shoe-in for that England side.
Oh, 100%.
That match.
He should have got 2 in. Should have got 2 in that game as well. To be honest, the one that they got, his header got disallowed.
Yeah.
For another marginal offside
VAR,
that wasn't even in the
crazy.
Same phase of play. So he could have got 2 in that.
I mean, he's got 11 goal involvements in 19 appearances. That's the most for any English midfielder in the league this season. So he's killing it, man. And he's again. I have to eat humble pie here because I knew he was a decent player, but this time last year I didn't think he was good enough.
He stepped up in the last
2019, he has come on like leaps and bounds, and he's actually just proven the doubters, including me, wrong. But I want to shine a spotlight on Burnley as well, because Burnley are a team who are losing the way currently right now. I think when I watch them play, this doesn't look like a Burnley side. When I look at Burnley, I associate Burnley with a side who are compact, who are very direct, and who actually take the game to the opposition at home. I felt yesterday I felt they were too passive. They were too passive off the ball, and I felt that the spaces, the distances between some of their defenders and some of their midfielders is too much. It was the same way at Spurs. Against the better football inside, you're going to get killed. You have to go back to basics, and you have to stick to what has kept you and served you so well in this league.
I agree with you, but I still don't think they'll be in major trouble just because I think...
No, they're not in trouble, but it's just it's not
poor
good to
from
see.
them for far too long, I think, now, at the moment. Like, it's not what you associate with
Burnley side.
It really isn't. That's four losses in 5 at home for Burnley.
That's unheard of at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
It actually is unheard of.
In recent sort of like the past probably season and a half, 2 seasons, that's not something that you expect at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
Like, Tyrone Mings as well, I don't rate him, but I felt like he was a big plus for them with that whole physical threat as well.
Okay, cool. Watford 2, Wolves 1, and Norwich 1, Palace 1.
Watford,
Feel
man.
free to go out.
Watford.
Yeah, obviously, but we knew that was going to happen.
The Pearson effect.
He's actually got their key players playing well.
Yeah.
Like Sarr was a major summer signing for them.
Don't you dare!
Sarr.
No, I never said anything bad about Sarr.
Okay.
Go on, correct it.
No, I'm not.
Good, I thought so. I was very wary of doing that because I knew I'd get pulled up on it at some point. Yeah, he's playing well.
Sarr and De La Feu, though, he's got them back in the goal and being dangerous in the final third. Both of them, I think, have got 3 goal contributions in the last 4 games. So he's got the key players playing in an attacking sense. He's got Doucouré putting in the shift, centre mid, got another goal as well on New Year's Day. So
on his 27th birthday too.
Yeah. I had a better birthday than Andres Pereira.
I can't believe he's put that picture up. I can't believe
what was it?
Not what I planned. Not the birthday I planned.
I literally have. I don't know what the intention was with that tweet.
Such a weirdo. He better have turned comments off for that, by the way, because I know he must have been savaged.
No.
Was it on Twitter or Instagram?
No, it was on Twitter. And I went into the comments hoping to see them savage him. And they were like, it's not your fault. You at least tried, Andreas. I was just like, why are you even posting this?
It's so weird.
It's so funny.
But I'm happy for Watford. I think Kabasele, though, I think him getting that red card, that's a loss for them. Mm-hmm. Their defense isn't good anyway, and he's probably
their best defender.
They're better players defensively. So that's a big blow for them.
He's not a good defender to me.
He's not a good defender, but he's the best. Okay. He's one of their best. He's one of their best.
I don't think he's a bad player though.
He's not horrific, but he's not good. Average, painfully average.
Okay, I'll agree with that. And Norwich 1, Palace 1. Norwich dropped 14 points from winning positions. That's mad.
I don't get it, man. And the thing is, when you watch this side, they're not a bad footballing side.
No,
they play good football. They create chances. They cut teams open.
And we
good patterns of play.
We were saying it in the car,
like
even defensively, they have like a lot of good players there. Not all of them played. I know they've got injuries and stuff, but we were looking at it like both their fullbacks, Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis. They're good. They're good players. Like not necessarily defensively,
there you go,
but they're still good players. Like going forward, you got Ben Godfrey, who's a good player on his day.
Decent prospect,
decent, good prospect. Then you got players in midfield. You got your Buendias, your Cantwells, Pukki up top. That Vrancic guy looks decent. Alex Tete, he's an okay. He's an okay player. Do you know what I mean? They don't have their squad. Isn't like
it's not dire.
It's not devoid of quality. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I think it is though. I think
defensively,
I think it is devoid of quality because I don't think they got any proper shooters up top bar Pukki. I think Onel Hernandez, I think he's a threatening player, but he doesn't score enough.
He's not got the end product
or create enough. I think Todd Cantwell, I think you can rely on him to a certain extent for goals and assists, but I think they're lacking up top in terms of goals. I think midfield as well. I think they probably need someone who's instinctively sort of like defensively minded. And I think defensively as well. I think with Daniel Farke, he caters for how he wants his team to attack. You see it in his fullbacks, you see it in his centre backs as well. You see it in his midfielders, but as a team, as a unit, they're not solid enough. They're so easy to get at.
Yeah, they're in trouble. All right, cool. Any more?
Palace as well. Zaha, quality chop for the assists, and Connor Wickham has scored.
Yeah,
we put a poll out to see how many goals Crystal Palace Ayew, Benteke, and Connor Wickham would score. So
how many are they on? They must be on 8 in total.
So Connor Wickham now has his first league goal this season. I think that's his first league goal this season. So I'm just quickly going to check how many Jordan Ayew has.
I think he's on 6.
So he's on 5. So so that's 6. So we're 2 off. And Teke obviously has 0. So
shock.
We're 2 off. So if we can maintain 2 goals not being
for the
scored
rest of the season
by any of these players for the rest of the season, then we're in.
I think Ayew saved them basically.
Yeah, he has. He saved them.
All right, cool. FA Cup this week. Are we recording?
No, this is a Premier League podcast. Come on.
Okay. So what, the better competitions?
No,
Yeah,
not necessarily. I like the FA Cup.
There's about 700 games to cover. Man,
Yeah.
in the FA Cup.
This is a strictly Premier League podcast.
Could you imagine doing Grimsby Macclesfield or something like that? It would be
exactly.
mad. Yeah, cool. So we'll be back after the FA Cup break.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe at TapIn Football on all platforms. Thanks for listening again.